Hello and welcome to Excellent Link Academy, still on partial fraction rule 1, right? So under partial fraction rule 1, we solved, or perhaps we have done an introduction to partial fraction and have discussed about the rule 1 guiding partial fraction, and we have created an example based on that. Let's try to take another example to further explain or to further understand the concept about rule 1. So the question says, resolve 5x plus 2 all over 3x squared plus 4x minus 4 into partial fraction. So how do you solve this? We said in last class, our first task here is what? Consider denominator, right? So it means that solution, first task there is to consider denominator. Solution, I have 5x plus 2 all over 3x squared plus 4x minus 4. So I want to resolve this one into partial fraction. First task, consider denominator. So my denominator here, I have 3x squared plus 4x minus 4. If I solve this one here quadratically, I'll have 3x minus 2 and x plus 2. So if I solve this equation quadratically using complete square method or factorization method or quadratic formula method, you have these two roots, right? Solving this quadratically. So it means that the partial fraction in this form exists. So it means that at this point here, I'll now write out the general form of the partial fraction. So the general form of this partial fraction becomes, I'll have 5x plus 2 all over 3x squared plus 4x minus 4 to be equal to, pick this one, I have a all over 3x minus 2, next up, plus I have b all over x plus 2. This idea of rule 1. All right, at this point here, since I've introduced this, my next task here now is to look for LCM, right? I'm looking for LCM of the what? Equation on the what? Right hand side. So right hand side. So equation on the right hand side, which is this one. So I'll have 5x plus 2 all over 3x squared plus 4x minus 4, which is this, to be equal to a all over 3x plus 2 plus b all over x plus 2. Hang on. Okay, 3x minus is a minus, not plus. This is minus. This is minus. All right. So I say looking for LCM, maybe for this right hand side. So I'll have a line this way. I said whenever you have LCM of uncommon term, they are not the same. You pick the two as the LCM. So my LCM here becomes 3x minus 2 and what? X plus 2. At this point here, what's my next task? Divide everything here by the first one here. So this one will cancel out this successfully. I'm left with this one. So multiply this by a. So I'll have a into x plus 2. I have plus sign plus, divide everything here by this. So this cancel out this, left with what? This one here. So I'll have b into 3x minus 2. I have this one here. So I'll have 5x plus 2 all over 3x squared plus 4x minus 4. At this point here, what's your next task? My next task is to equate numerator. Equating numerator. If I equate numerator, what do I mean? I'll pick out the numerator 5x plus 2 to be equal to a into x plus 2 plus b into 3x minus 2. At this point here, my next task now is to expand through. So expanding, if I expand through, I'll have 5x plus 2 to be equal to a times x is ax, a times 2, that's 2a, plus b times 3a, 3x, that becomes 3bx, 3bx. Next up, b times 2, plus minus is minus, b times 2 is 2b. I have this after expansion. Alright, after expansion here, what next? My next task is to factorize. Factorizing at this point here, if I factorize, what do I mean? I'll have 5x plus 2 to be equal to, or perhaps, first things first, before I factorize, I want to collect like terms, please. Collect like terms first. So, collecting like terms, so that means that I'll have 5x plus 2 to be equal to ax. This one having x2, that plus 3bx. I'm done with that. I'm having plus 2a, next up, minus 2b. At this point here, so my next task now is what? Factorize. So if I factorize, I'll have 5x plus 2 to be equal to, this is having x. So bring these two together, I'll have a plus 3b. Bring down the x outside this way. So it means a times a, x times a is ax, plus 3b times s is 3bx. I have this here. Next up, plus 2a minus 2b. I'm at this point here. So this is the value I get after factorizing. What's your next task from this point here? Of course, from this point here, my next task now is to next task here now is that I will compare coefficient. Comparing coefficient. So comparing coefficient, what do I mean? Start for x. So I have for x. Check your left hand side. Is there any value for any value having x? Of course, I have 5x. So the coefficient of x is what? 5. So I have 5 here to be equal to, check your left hand side here. Sorry, your right hand side per se. This is x here. The coefficient is what? A plus 3b. So I have a plus 3b. The idea is that you pick the coefficient of x both in the left and right hand side of the equation. When you are done with that, I'm left with 2 and 2a minus 2b. So it means that that's a constant term. So for constant, I'll have my, you should call this one equation 1. So my constant, the equation of constant becomes 2, which is equal to 2a minus 2b. Call this equation 2, right? At this point here. All right, we are here. What's our next task at this point here? Our next task now is to solve equation 1 and 2 using simultaneous equation, right? So solving them simultaneously, I'll have equation 1 and 2 if I solve them simultaneously, what do I get? Start from equation 1. From equation 1, what do I know? I know that 5 is equal to a plus 3b. So make a subject. So a will be equal to what? 5 minus 3b, right? Call this one here, call it equation 3. So I'll put a to be equal to 5 minus 3b into equation 2. So what's my equation 2? I have my equation 2, 2 is equal to 2a minus 2b. This is my equation 2, yeah? Right? So whenever I see a, I'll put this value there. So I have 2 to be equal to 2 into what's a? That's 5 minus 3b minus 2b. I'm done with this. I'll have 2 to be equal to 10 times 5 is 10 minus 2 times 3 is 6, and I have a b here. So minus 2b. At this point here, 2 is now equal to 10 minus 3b minus 2b. I'll have minus 8b. Take this 10 here, I'll have 2 minus 10. If plus 10 come and be minus 10 to be equal to minus 8b. 2 minus 10 will give minus 8 to be equal to minus 8b. Minus cancel out minus in mathematics is correct. So I'll have 8 to be equal to 8b divided by 8 divided by 8. It means that therefore b is equal to 1. So my b value is 1. I've gotten my b to be equal in value to 1. Alright, at this point then let's get a. So we recall from equation 3. So we get our value for a. Alright, let's get a value for a. So recall from equation 3. From equation 3, what we know is that a is equal to 5 minus 3b. Equation 3 at this point here. So it means that my a will be equal to 5 minus, this is 3, into b. What's b? We just said b is equivalent to 1. So b is 1. So it means that mathematically a is equal to 5 minus 3 times 1 will give 3. Therefore, a is equal to 2. So I'll put the value for a and b into the general form of the partial fraction, which is this. So recall this one. I have 5x plus 2 all over 3x squared plus 4x minus 4 to be equal to a all over 3x minus 2 plus b all over x plus 2. Alright, let's get this done. It means that if I resolve this partial fraction, I'll be having this to be equal to a. What's a? A is 2 all over 3x minus 2 plus b. What's b? 1 all over x plus 2. So this is how you resolve this question here in form of what? Partial fraction. All right, see you in our next class. If you found this helpful, do wait to like, leave a comment, and share to your friends and classmates so that they can learn too. See you in our next class.